Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our YouTube channel. I need to apologize a little bit about the lighting. Usually you see my videos taken at the study office area, and now I'm trying to do more kitchen videos because of this Thermomix. So bear with me a little bit as we try to adjust the different lighting. I've purchased additional ones, so it should get better with time. Now, in the previous episode, we had a little bit of unboxing, and quite a few friends were disappointed that there wasn't any cooking done at all. Well, let me explain a little bit. First and foremost, that was an unboxing video, and secondly, I wanted to look at what's possible in the recipe before I make a decision on what I'm going to first cook with the Thermomix. Now, after looking at the recipe, then I realized that there is another problem for a beginner like myself. Well, I only know onions and flour as flour. So when I went to NTUC, lo and behold, I found there's yellow onions, there's brown onions, there's red onions, there's small onions, there's shallots. Even ginger has old ginger and white ginger. And for flour, there's things like bread flour, all-purpose flour, plain flour, Hong Kong flour, top flour, semolina flour. So let me get this right first and research before I even start on my first dish. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster for sure. I presume it'll be a bit easier to do baking and ice cream, correct me if I'm wrong, because it seems that the items are a little bit more, the list of ingredients is a little bit shorter than cooking. So let's gonna experiment that a little bit. But at the end of this episode, I'm gonna promise you I'm going to do at least one item. Now, to supplement the previous video when I brought out the assortment of items here, as you can see later on the table, I'm going to give you the names of these items now. So let's start with this first. This is known as the Varoma dish. Okay, it comes with the Varoma lid as well as the Varoma tray. It's mainly used for steaming. Okay, so this is what this item is for. And then there's this simmering basket that comes with a lid. Now this is very useful because I've watched YouTubes online where people actually cook rice with this. So it's kind of like a steaming basket also, if you would. And I was right in two items. This is the spatula and this is the butterfly whisk. Okay, these two items. Now this spatula is quite special because it has a little hook here. So when I put this item into the mixing bowl. So this is not a flask, which I said last time, it's a mixing bowl. When it's inside there, and let's say I'm cooking rice and it's hot, actually this spatula has a hook here where I can pull it out. And this is extremely useful. Now the second use for this is, if I am boiling pasta, for example, and I want to filter, then I will insert the simmering basket there with my spatula, and as I hold the mixing bowl, I can pour it out and have this filter the water, thus leaving the pasta or noodles behind. So this is a very smart move. This is also a cap. Now a cap on top of the lid of the mixing bowl, if I want to have it completely covered, kind of like, I hope I'm not wrong, like a pressure cooker equivalent. And on top of this is also a measuring cup. Now finally, this item here is called a splash guard. So if I want the items cooking, and if you think that it's going to splash up because of a lot of oil or water, I just throw this splash guard on top to prevent it from splashing over. So these are the items that I have cleared. So I was joking with my friend previously that the first item I should do, and the item that is very convenient and obviously not need of any ingredients, would be boiling water. I don't think there's any YouTube out there teaching one on how you can use a Thermomix to boil water. Okay, let's put this aside now. Well, it might sound like a joke, but actually Thermomix has a very useful feature here that will allow different kinds of temperature to be bought on a kettle. As I mentioned previously, I don't have a kettle, so I will show you now what is this new kettle feature available. There is a kettle feature here which allows you to choose varying amounts of temperature, 95, 90, 85, 80, in drops of 5 degrees interval. Now why would anyone want to do this? Well, if you're very precise, like I hope to say I am also, about temperature and matrix and measurement, this is very useful because different kinds of tea and coffee would be best brewed at different temperatures. And if you want to tweak the taste that you like, sometimes varying the temperature will also affect it. So now you have the ability to boil water or heat up water at a different and very specific temperature. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with simply boiling barley water. Prior to having this apparatus, and it seems like an overkill to have a Thermomix to boil barley water, what will I do? Well, as per normal, I will soak barley beans, the beans overnight to make sure that it's well washed, and I will put it into my induction cooker in a pot and have it boil for 30 minutes. But specifically, how are these 30 minutes carried out? I want it fast because I'm very impatient. I will put the induction cooker at the highest power level in order to have the water boil fast and start to drop the power level down as I pour the barley in. Bearing in mind that I don't want to have any spill, and yet I want to make sure the barley is not burnt. So I have to stand there to stir the barley until a certain time where I find that the water is heated up and the temperature is pretty even. I will drop it down to a power level 2, for example, and use a timer on the induction cooker to put 30 minutes and then move off. At that point in time, I think the induction cooker is extremely useful as compared to a gas cooker because it has a timer and it cuts off power when the timer reaches 0. So I basically can walk away and do what I want, and when the alarm sounds, I can come back and see my barley done. So what's the difference between doing that manually and laboriously versus a Thermomix? A Thermomix, I just had to pour it all in, set the temperature at 100 degrees, and not worrying about it splatter all over because of this all-in-one system that's encapsulated in this mixing bowl. But there's one extremely powerful feature here, and that's the main reason why I bought the Thermomix. It is able to stir my barley for the entire 30 minutes where it's boiling it. So I no longer need to be there manually to stir. Now this may seem like an overkill again for barley, but what if you're making soups? What if you're making or you're thickening certain items that require you to be there to stir constantly and continuously? Now that is where this feature comes in, where you heat up and have it stir for you continuously throughout the period of heating. So I'm going to start this by pouring in the barley that I've weighed and also soaked overnight. Let me reset this. The other useful feature here is the ability to weigh specifically on how much water you want to have. Previously, I'll just pour in an estimate, but now I no longer need to do that. I have the option of a scale, and let me tie it to 0. And I want to pour exactly 1,000 grams of water. Okay, I don't have enough water here, but assuming this is 1,000. Now when this is done, let me start this. I'm going to set the time to 30 minutes like I mentioned just now. Okay, and the temperature will be set at 100 degrees Celsius. And I want it to stir while it is boiling at 100 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. I just turn to 1. The locking mechanism starts and it's going to start boiling water to 100 degrees for 30 minutes while it stirs. This is amazing. So I'm going to come back in 30 minutes and see what we get from here. So as promised, now we have at least one dish. Now a bit is barley water, but at least the machine is being put to good use now. Okay, see you later. Okay, and we are back. The Thermomix is almost ready with the barley water. I'm just going to do a near shot to show you what it looks like here. So you can see it's really steaming with boiling here. So when it's done, it has a chime and then it releases the catch on the mixing bowl. I'm supposed to shut it off. So let's see what we have here. Okay. Really hot at the moment. We have the barley water. I'm just going to show you what the barley looks like. So, barley done very nicely because it's stirred continuously for the past half an hour. So that's all we have for this episode, and I promise you, yes, there will be real food coming up very soon in the next few episodes. Till next time, see you.